Good morning all. So we are now going on the walk I spoke about in the last Melbourne walking tour. That is the Melbourne to Meldreth. Now, geographically, if you remember, we walked through this park, Adra and I, back up the moor towards the main road. So that gives you some sort of idea where we are. It is coming up to 7 o'clock in the morning, so we're still a little bit laggy on the light, so I'm hoping this is all going to come out alright. It looks alright on the camera. It will obviously get lighter the further we go around, and there are some lights on this path I was telling you about. Just one quick thing. Morning, James.
Hello.
James has come out this morning as well, so I'm pleased about that. A little bit of company. He probably won't say much, if at all, but if he's got any words of wisdom, I'm sure he'll share them with us, but it'll probably just be me rambling like I normally do. Okay, I'll just show you this very quickly. The Melbourne Rock. So, as I said, this is the purpose made path that goes up to Pavilion. That's the field again I walked through. You can just see over there that cut out in the bushes. That's where I came through. I think it was last weekend I did this. In fact, it was last weekend. Just a quick shout out, if you haven't already, watch the other walking tours I've done. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it and the planning, and it's really, really good fun. And the one I did yesterday of Broxbourne, where we used to live, I really, really enjoyed that. It's probably my favourite one, even more than where we live, only because there's a lot more history down in Broxbourne, because I grew up there. Obviously we've made our own memories up here, but yeah, I think as a kid you're like a sponge, aren't you? So a lot of stuff sticks. Alright, James is going to take the camera for a second whilst Azra does her business, and that'll get that out of the way. Come here. Right, do you want me to take back over? Thank you, James. Okay, so this is the new pavilion. Now this graffiti, a lot of it is all allowed by the committee. I can't think for the village, the parish council. There you go, that's the words I was looking for. And there's a lad that comes around and does it. We've actually seen him doing it a couple of times, and some of the stuff is really good. Anyway, so this is the orchard I was telling you about last weekend that you can walk through. It is not looking too bad. It looks like they've cut the grass fairly recently, or it's just where loads of people walk on this, because I would imagine the way we're going to go, which you'll see, is a way, if the kids live in Meldreth, they would probably come this way so probably a lot of it's trampled down because there's a lot of traffic along here. Not as in traffic as in cars, as in people. So the dog just giving James and me the old dance around there. She thought it was funny. Now it does look like it's going to get a little bit messy here, and when you go through the gap coming up, it's always been a bit of a muddy bit, so hopefully I don't fall over and make myself look like a complete burk. I'll try my best, and then hopefully it should get a bit better the other side. That's the plan anyway. Right, minding our step here. Okay, that wasn't too bad. We both survived. Now just coming up here, we are coming up to an underpass which goes underneath the A10. Just up here, you might be able to hear the cars. So it's going to be a bit dark in here because obviously we're underground for a minute, so the light will sort itself back out in a moment. Now it's a little bit of a shame, I mean I'll speak to you more about it when we get round there, but we can't come back along the station footpath because they're still building it, and it's going to be fantastic when it's done. It's properly laid and there's going to be lights down there and what have you. Not that we use the train from that station that often because it is a quieter station, and also if we want to go from anywhere, we usually go from Royston actually, purely and simply because more trains stop there from Cambridge going into London. I think if there's 4 trains that stop at Royston, there's only 2 that stop at Meldreth, so yeah, Meldreth, sorry. It's not the end of the world. Try and walk on the grass, James, protect your trainers. But over there, just in the distance there, you might be able to see the bridge that goes over the railway line, and there's a new fence. It might not be coming out on the camera, so I'm sorry if it can't, but that is the new footpath, and they're putting up the lights as we speak. But we won't be able to do that, unfortunately, for the reasons I've explained. It's all still shut to the public, which is fair enough. For the people that use it though, it's going to be a game changer, especially on these evenings when the clocks change and it's a lot darker at night. I mean, it's dark now by what, 4:30 in the UK, so that's no fun for anyone to be walking down a path that was unmade and with no lights. And I know I always use the example, but for a lady by themselves or a young girl, you know, having the light just gives you a little bit more confidence. I'm sure there's many abled women and young girls, but it seems to me these people, if that's what you want to call them, who try and go out to cause mischief and trouble, seem to prey on those sorts of people. Makes them feel good about themselves, I guess. But anyway, I'm sure there's anyone that could be attacked, mugged, whatever you want to say anywhere. Anyway, so as you can see, this is a lovely morning. And I was saying yesterday on the Broxbourne walk about the walks that they have down there and how I miss them. I haven't done this walk for a long time because it's probably going to be about 3/4 an hour to 50 minutes. Now this camera won't do all of that, well, it would do it all, but I haven't done it all because some of the bit to where we got to you've seen already, so there's no point doing it again. And I'll do that when we get back into Melbourne as well, because people don't want to see the same stuff over and over again. So yeah, I'll let you know clearly when I'm going to do that. So yeah, this is the next bit coming up round the corner is my least favourite bit of any walk we do around here, and I'll explain why when we get round there. But suffice to say, if James ever comes this way with his mates, he gets told one thing and one thing only, and you'll see what I mean in a minute. Well, this morning it'll be slightly different because he's with me. So just beyond the power cable there, you might be able to see the wooden fence, is the railway line. Now, you can go underneath there, which is a lot safer, especially for the kids. And this is the reason why I say James gets told, under no uncertain terms, if I ever find out you go over the line when you're not with me or Julia, he'd be in big trouble, because anything can happen, and all your mates always think it's a good crack, but when something goes wrong, it isn't so funny. So he has been warned, he is listening, but as I say, he's with me, so God forbid anything were to go wrong, at least there's someone here. Okay, so just down there, doesn't look like much, but you can go under the bridge. It's quite tiny, but you just have to bow down, or bend down, sorry. Right, James, will you hold that? I've got to get the dog over. Right, Ezra? I don't think you're going to be able to go over, are you? It's not ideal here. Right, take her under. I'm going to show the viewers over. You take her under, yeah? Okay, so James is going the way he knows. Whoops. She can't go that way. Ezra, go with James. Go on, go with James. Ezra. Go. Ezra, James, just. Come on. There they go. Go on. Good girl. Okay. So, as we come up here, I think this is slightly changed. But this is what I mean about this situation. You've got to look both ways and just make sure and then go for it. And it frightens the hell out of me, this. It really does. And there they are. James doing his bit. Thank you, James. Okay, we're going to go down these steps. Good girl. Right, come on, Ezra. Let's go. Let's go. Right, can you just hold that because the lead's all tangled up. Thanks. Right, okay, so onwards. So this will bring us out at the back of Flambard's. Flambard's Close, I think it is. You can carry on along this path, which I know James has done. I've never done it, but I think it brings you out by the British Queen pub, doesn't it, James? Down there?
I can't remember.
I think it does, from memory. It's certainly the pub. I don't know if that's what it's called. I think I'm right. Right, round. That's it. Good girl. Nice to be liked by your dog, incidentally. She was not very happy about going the other way, and I think it was more just because she was a bit worried about where I was going, to be honest with you, as opposed to worrying about what she was doing, and obviously going with James. She loves James. If she's got the choice, even though I take her out for these walks at the weekends and obviously during the week to a lesser degree, if she has the choice, she'll sit with James every time. And then Ralph will sit with Julia. And I get the tortoise. So you can see the pecking order in our house, can't you? Anyway. In the last couple of weeks since I've been doing this, I've actually lost around 3/4 of a stone. Now obviously it's not all to do with the walking, it's a big help. But a lot of it is clearly to do with eating properly, eating the right stuff. But to be fair, during the week, or the working week, so let's call it 8 till 5, I am very sensible at work. But I still have some Haribo and stuff like that of an evening. But it's just all about being sensible. I know you can say, well, if you cut it all out, you'd lost more weight. I don't need to lose weight rapid fire. I need to lose some weight, but I don't need to lose it that quickly, so I'm not going to stop everything. Life's for enjoying. You're only here for a short time, so enjoy it. But I will say, it was the doctor that said to me, I've got to lose a little bit of weight, so you've got to take that seriously, haven't you? So okay, so now I should have said we are in the village of Meldreth. So it basically is the adjoining village to Melbourne. The way that you would come in with a car, we will be showing you from Melbourne, because we can't use the path, as I said to you earlier on. So that is a shame, but it is what it is. We're out for a bit longer, a little bit more exercise, so I can't moan. Also, when we do go away, Azra and Ralph, dog sitter, is in Meldreth. That's very convenient, excuse me, very convenient for us, and they love going there. So I think we might have a car inbound, or it might have turned off around the corner. That'll be good. But this is the high street, so going back that way will take you towards Meldreth, Barrington, and back to the A10 to Cambridge. This way obviously takes you back to Melbourne. It will bring us out sort of almost right by the Sheen Mill, this road, which you'll get an idea of the geography when we come round. And even if you do the station walk, all it does is it straight lines the walk as opposed to sort of having to go round, so it does save you time, but it's not the end of the world, is it? When you're out on a dog walk, as I said before, good exercise. I'm in no rush. We are going for breakfast a little bit later on, and then the swear word in my life, Tesco's, and then I think it's a reasonably calm afternoon. I think England are playing later. Well, is that calm watching England play? It was the other night actually. They actually played quite well for a change. Yeah, you're used to going that way, aren't you? I know. So over here, where you can see that pedestrian sign, is the alley that takes you up to the train station, over the bridge, and then onto the new path, which obviously, as I've said, isn't finished yet. But if you do this walk, I think it's due to be finished either late this year or early next year. I'm not quite sure, so I might, when I get home, when I'm doing the editing, have a look at that and see if I can find any information out for you and put it in the notes. Alright, so we're coming up to one of the two small intersections within this village. Got the War Memorial coming up here on the right hand side, sort of straight in front as it were. I'll show you that. We've got a walker coming, so I'll show that when he gets near. But to the left here, if you are parking at the train station, that's where you would park, in there, round to the left, I believe. Morning. So that will take you out towards Wadden, and beyond Wadden I think you can get onto the A1198, which brings you out in Barrington, and then so if you go up the 1198, I'm not going to go for everything, but you can get to Wimpole that way, and Papworth I think as well that way. In fact I know you can. I heard that person say good morning. He's a bit of a weirdo. He was looking the whole time, and I've said this before when you're doing these videos, people think, what the hell are you doing? Quite frankly, I mind my own business, so should other people. That's just my personal view. What do you reckon, James? Okay, no comment. Right, so normally if we were doing this walk, as I said, you wouldn't be doing this, but this is the way the cars come into the village, and I can assure you, this hill on a bike is flipping steep, and I've done it multiple times when I was doing far more cycling than I am now. Stay close, Ezra. Car just going past there. Lovely views. Okay, so train line there. That is the train line we crossed. Get me teeth in again. Crossed even earlier on, but further back that way. So that way is to the south. So the line nearest to us is the Cambridge bound line. So if you are using Meldreth station, you use that one. If you're going to Royston and London, you use a further track away. So that just gives you a little bit of a help. I can't really get a good picture of the station, I don't think. I'll try, but bearing in mind I'm in the middle of a road now. Okay, so that's the station just there. So left hand side lane nearest to us is Cambridge bound. The right hand side is Royston and London bound. Right, so now we are on our way back down. Now these portable lights you can see have been put here whilst that path is being done, primarily for parents and children, I think. Obviously all adults, all people can use them, but as an adult I think I know when I can cross the road or not. Obviously kids sometimes misjudge these things, and parents with prams and stuff like that, and maybe more than one child, clearly it's a lot easier for these lights to change red. What I will say, I have never, since they've been up, and I reckon they've been up now, what do you reckon, James, 3 to 6 months? These lights? I reckon 3 to 6 months. I have never seen them change to red, ever. And that's the ones here and in Melbourne. So I don't know whether people don't use them, or whether because I'm at work at the school times, which is more likely, people don't use them. I don't know, but whatever, they're there if people do want to use them, and obviously I would recommend people to use them, because sometimes these roads at the wrong time of day do get busier than they somewhat are now. Just a little bit of geography so you know where we are. This is Station Road going back towards Melbourne. Coming up on the right hand side here, I want to say it's Fieldgate Nurseries. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah, I think I am. Now they do all sort of what you would expect a farm shop to do. There's also got butcher in there as well. Had a few things from there in the past. Always been alright. So I can only tell you my own experience, and it is always my own experiences that I give. But yeah, that's Fieldgate Nurseries there. Right, so we're on the last little section coming into Melbourne now. What is the time, James? Okay, so just coming up to 7:30. So I think when I started, yeah, it would have been practically 7 o'clock. So we're doing well. Obviously we're nowhere near home yet, but from the point and purpose of this video, I don't know where that goes, whether that goes down to that station path as well. I'd imagine it probably does. I never used it, that particular one anyway. But looking at it, how it's fenced off, I would imagine that is the case. So we're going back underneath the A10. Another car coming the other way, horrible green Micra. I always hated that colour. Each to their own. I'm sure some people love it. I never did. This is the thing about doing these videos. It's my personal opinion. And quite frankly, I think you've heard me enough about people's manners. So I think you know how strongly I feel about that, and how we've tried to bring up James in the right way, as I'm sure parents all do in different ways. But that does frustrate me. As you saw on one of the other walk arounds through Broxbourne, if you've looked at that one, it was quite a rude person, which I got quite cheesed off with, because there's no need for it. Anyway, so we are almost at the end of this road, which I believe is still Station Road. Yeah. So in front, just in front of that give way sign, if you can make that out on the camera, you can see the plastic barriers. Now that is the beginning of the new station path, or existing station path, just been redone. If you were to do a left here, it's literally a short burst to get to the A10, left for Royston, London, right for Foxton and Cambridge and beyond. This is these traffic lights, I tell you, these ones aren't even working. And that's all the building work that's going on. Come on. So we're now coming into Melbourne. We've missed the sign for Melbourne, but I promise you it is. These guys start early. I think we saw them last weekend as well. Probably going to the same people. Probably have their own routine. The thing I don't like about this online shopping, and I understand it's convenient for a lot of people, and I hate going to Tesco's, as I've said, but at least you get to choose what you want and dates and stuff like that, because these online people, when they go around the store, they just grab the first one they can get their hands on, and that might have a short date. So it's good to go, and also the substitutes and stuff like that. Yeah, so here's a sheen mill. Now you've seen that, you saw that last week, but this is from a different angle. I think this is some sort of ladies shop, and it looks like some sort of spa as well, I think it says. Retail and therapy. Could do with a bit of that now. Okay, so I'm going to stop recording now, guys. Hope you got this far into the video. Hope you've enjoyed. This is where we went up to the fields last time, and there is a dog coming, so we're going to carry on going. I'm going to stop. Hope you've enjoyed the video, as I say. Please like, please subscribe, tell your friends and family. Let's keep it real. Okay, so we've just come into Melbourne. I'm just showing you this a little bit. This is the church. Obviously I've shown you in previous videos. We're actually going to walk through. Go on, James. Well done. Now, I think this has been shown in another video I saw on Melbourne, but that was a few years ago. Probably not a lot's changed. I think that's the church hall there. Entrance to the church. Is there a squirrel or something? Yeah. Hold her tight, James. Right. Azra. Right, James, let me have her. Right, Azra, wait please. So yeah, that's going back down towards the War Memorial. As you can see, when she sees something, like a squirrel, she's quite strong. Come on. Right, come in. Come in. Yes, I saw it too. Come on. Right, come on. Right. This just brings you back to the high road. James is going to take the dog so I can turn the camera off. Speak soon, guys. Okay, so we are now in the town hall, village car park, sorry. We were over there the last time we walked past, just out on the high road there. So just another little bit of Melbourne to see. I'm glad those pigeons have flown, otherwise that would have been another episode with Her Majesty. Now down this alley, it's a bit blind, so you have to be careful if you've got a lively dog. Again, I've not been looking through here for a while. In the summer, I come this way to go out to the fields and then back round. That's another circle. But the route I do now, we're going through the science park, is all pretty much hard stand, apart from a little alleyway, which is sheltered. So apart from getting a little bit mucky, it's not too bad. I can't remember the name of this road until we get to the top, but this is just another little cut through from the high street up to Orchard Road at the top here, just beyond that white van. Okay, so we're now getting towards the end of this road. In front, you've got one of the two cemeteries. I think in a previous video I showed you the second one. Beaton Close this is. I showed you the second one further down, but that's the first one. It's quite big in there. Again, never gone in there, don't need to go in there. But yeah, I'm going to keep going because when we get to the crossroads here, we're going to do a right and just cut round just to extend the walk for Azra. She's seen two dogs, so she might get a bit excited, as you know by now. Good morning, you okay? Come on. Alright, come on. Keep going. To be fair, Azra was being pretty good.
Got jump scared by a big Labrador
that
behind that fence. You didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
And she turned around and then...
Was there a Labrador? Where was the Labrador? Oh, I didn't see it.
That fence, you can see
Oh, right.
in between the two fences.
Oh, right.
There's a big Labrador.
Well, that didn't make any noise, did it? I didn't even hear it.
It didn't make any noise.
Oh.
It was standing right next to her.
Oh,
And she turned around and saw it.
I thought she was more concerned about the two dogs that were on the other side, barking at her. Anyway, she was pretty good. Right, so right in the distance up there, you can see the corner of Bramley Avenue, which is sort of the general direction where we're going. But we're going to go this way. Now this is, if it's pouring with rain or freezing cold, and we just need to get out, get the dog to do what she needs to do. This is a short, sharp walk. It's not even 10 minutes, I don't think, if I'm walking briskly. Which is no good for her exercise, or me. But it's a circle that you don't have to go back on yourself and stuff like that. We're going to cross over here. Come on. One thing I need to look at the settings on my camera is the screen will go off. Now I know why it goes off, it's to protect the battery, but I hope all these videos I've actually been aiming in the right direction, because I've only noticed it when I've looked down, because then the screen's gone blank. So hopefully there hasn't been too many pointing at the past shots. Sure there won't have been. So we're now at the crossroads in Orchard Way. Got a sign just over there, Orchard Way. Metcalfe Way over there. Also, this is also Metcalfe Way, which we're going down. and close here on the left hand side. So we're getting towards the end now of our magical mystery tour around Melbourne. This is only a snippet. There's far more, but as I said before, you could be going for hours looking down every road, which I'm not going to do because it's not necessary. I'm just doing the routes that we do, which is what the channel's about, the walkthroughs. If I ever do take the dog on those walks, I'll always record so you can see a little bit more. Certainly has warmed up a lot now since we went out, body temperature wise. I'm sure it's still only 5-6 degrees, but I'm sure James and I are nice and toasty now. Small little village green, or a little green, not even a village green, what am I talking about? Just a little green for these houses around here. Not going to make any comment about the smell around here. If you ever come along here, you'll know what I mean. Every time I come through here. Okay, so I'm going to turn off now, but basically at the end of this little road you're back on Bramley Avenue. Alright, thanks for watching guys, as I said before.